Maclunky.
Welcome to the top 8 quarterfinals match of the SGC Columbus Star Wars Unlimited 2K, brought to you by Maclunky Gaming. Today, we have John Tatta facing off with Quinn. Joining us with expert commentary are Tower number 9 and Endless. Enjoy the match.
All right, here we go. We are coming back with the top 8 after a bit of a delay between the end of the Swiss rounds and the start of the cut. Quinn and Tatta are shuffling up now. Let's see how this match goes.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't actually seen Tatta in live play before. I've played with him on over other means, but I've never seen him live play. I've only played with him offline. So
All right, well, we're gonna see what happens.
yeah, I'm super excited about that.
They're rolling it up. Tatta with a 9 and Quinn, I think, with a 10. It was a little hard to tell due to glare, but I believe you won the roll off and will be going first.
Oh, they're getting
Let's
the
see
deck
how
list
we
out.
go.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Gandork. I appreciate that. I'm just excited because these are both great players, and we're here to witness some really tight Star Wars
Let's
Unlimited
go.
action.
Here we are in
Let's
the
go.
cut. SCG Con Columbus Premier 2K. Now, interestingly, Claire says it is not open deck list and it is untimed. That is interesting. I believe that the way that you are, in theory, supposed to administer the top cut, which doesn't mean that TOs can't choose to do their own thing, but I believe it is supposed to be open deck list and still timed, but with an extended time period. Like, I forget what the extended time period was, but maybe it was like a 75-minute round or something. I don't remember the exact specifics.
Yeah, I believe it is 75-minute rounds for top cut.
All right, Quinn has resources configured. Tatta, I think, went for a mulligan. Let's see how we go. And additional Top Cut videos will be posted by Next Gen Gaming. So shout out to them for doing some commentary of their own. I believe they are not streaming it live, but will have some commentary after the fact.
So it looks like John with initiative here.
All right. I thought Quinn had won that roll off.
Did he? Oh, he got
Did I miss
so
something?
John has the initiative marker for better or for worse.
Yeah, he does. Maybe did Quinn opt to go second?
Huh.
I'm not sure. That's interesting. Okay, so Tada's going to start us off with a crafty smuggler. Quinn brings out a Green Squadron A-Wing, and he does use Sabine's ability, and that does mean that I think that he is viewing himself as the aggro here. Next Gen Gaming in the chat, shout out to Next Gen Gaming, asks if Titanic made the cut. I believe, unfortunately, he did not. Let's see how we continue here. So Tatta with a crafty smuggler, Quinn with a Green Squadron A-Wing. And it looks like we're going to see a cartel spacer hitting the field from Tatta here, exhausting that A-Wing and preventing Quinn from getting a quick attack. Quinn is in turn going to bring out Red 3, buffing up that A-Wing with Raid 1. Tatta swings in with 2 damage from the crafty smuggler. It is now Quinn's action. Does he want to ping with Sabine or take the initiative or what? I think personally I would
take
probably
initiative.
just take initiative.
Yeah, I would take initiative. I don't think Sabine ping is warranted here.
And Quinn's thinking the same thing. Takes the initiative. Tatta did have an additional play, though, with a Greedo. Some nice extra value there. Greedo's a pretty strong card.
Oh, yeah. Greedo, very good. It's probably, well, gosh, like, it's probably one of the best one drops, right? Because you get the 2-for-1 potentially. You have the 3 attack, and it costs 1 mana, or costs
Very
1
solid
resource.
card, in my view. Very solid card.
Extremely solid, yeah. I mean, Greedo can kill Sabine by himself if he gets the right deck.
Yeah. Now you do have to have some luck for that.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have luck, and the timing has to be right. But there's some circumstances where it can happen.
All right. Looks like it's gonna be a swing there with the Green Squadron A-Wing going into the base. Buffed with the Raid 1 from Red 3 for friendly heroic units. That is going to be 4 total damage since it already has Raid 2. And so Quinn now ahead on damage dealt to base, but I'm not sure he will be for long. Let's see what Tatta's reply here is. I think that's going to be a P-38 dealing 1 damage to a Red 3 there and exhausting it. The
Now look at how
P-38.
wide this board is, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's actually thinking about whether he wants to exhaust here.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a question about where the exhaust is going to be most useful. He could potentially send that. He could potentially send that dwarf. I'm sorry. So he could potentially send that into the base there for more damage, and he does do it. We're on 8 damage to Tata's base, 3 damage to Quinn's base. Tarkin Town now being used. So I was wondering whether the cartel spacer was maybe going to swing in to clear Red 3, but Tatta opting to use Tarkin Town there instead, keeping the cartel spacer to maybe just push more damage to Quinn's base. And with Jango still up, if Sabine deploys, she could potentially be pinged off the field. Oh, it's gonna be
ECL.
a ECL K2. This is kind of an old school play. It looks like K2 is gonna be ambushing Greedo, defeating Greedo and dealing 3 damage with Overwhelm, and Greedo misses the top deck, discarding another Greedo. So that K2 is gonna stay on the field here.
I think that was a very smart play from Quinn. Clears the Greedo, overwhelms for 3, and K2 does fortunately survive the Greedo top deck.
Now, yeah, this sort of K2 ambush play from ECL used to be more commonly seen than it is now. I think these days, after set 2 came out, people started using ECL more for some of the like higher power plays with things like Poe and Wrecker. But I think a K2 off of ECL can still be very powerful in the right situation. In that case, Quinn was able to not only clear his opponent's Greedo, but also deal 3 damage to base with Overwhelm. And then Tatta sends in the Crafty Smuggler to clear K2, and Quinn deals another 3 damage with the when defeated ability. Tatta going for 2 damage to the base with his cartel spacer. Quinn deploys Sabine. No resources available for Quinn here, having spent all 4 on that K2. But Tatta doesn't have anything else coming this turn. It's going to be just initiative being taken. And Quinn has done quite a bit of damage here. I think
Yeah.
we're looking at 18 damage on Tatta's base, only 6 on Quinn's.
Wow. So Quinn getting it done against this Jango Red. Despite what I would consider like really solid lines from Jango.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But Bobby Sapphire in chat saying Tatta bled too much damage here. I think he's a little on back foot, and I would tend to agree. That's a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
damage to have on your base, especially with a deck that has as much reach as Sabine. And we could potentially see play as we could see another K2SO being ambushed in from a timely intervention here. I think the ECL ambush with K2 on that Greedo was quite solid here for Quinn. Okay, it's gonna be the P-38 swings on in, defeating that Green Squadron A-Wing and staying alive. Quinn is going to go ahead and swing for 3 damage on base with Sabine. His Tatta is now at 21 damage. For a cause I believe in, will end this game if it hits 4 for 4, but it doesn't look like Quinn has one in hand.
Yeah, 2 to base from the cartel spacer.
8 damage now on
Yeah.
Quinn's base, 17 HP remaining.
Yeah, Tatta under a lot of pressure here right now. even though his board looks better, again, he has bled too much, as Bobby Sapphire was saying earlier in the chat.
If Quinn pulls a For a Cause I Believe in, that would basically be the game.
Right.
Now, what does he have in hand? Yeah, I think does he have like, are those
Looks like
K2s?
I think it's red 3 and a couple of K2s. Yeah.
And then a Poe? I would probably play K2 over Poe here. Do you
Yeah,
think so, Endless?
I think so. Yeah, I think you wait on Poe for right now. I think you just play another K2
Because if
and just
K2 dies, you get that 3 damage to base, which is almost lethal at this point.
right.
I
K2 has
think I would
better
rather
reach.
have that compared to the better stats on Poe, and Quinn agrees. There's K2.
Yeah, K2's got the better reach. If K2 lives, he can overwhelm the crafty smuggler.
Ooh, and Couch Judge Nick Nelson points out K2 plus a second K2 to uniqueness the first. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
actually
could.
play K2 over your K2 there if it gets hit by No Good to Me Dead or something. Kill the first one and deal 3 damage to base.
Yep.
Tatta gets Jango on the field. Quinn takes the initiative, and I don't know if there's going to be an easy out here for Tatta at all. There's still, what, 17 health on Quinn's base? I don't think Tata's going to be able to outrace here. And I think that's a scoop from Tatta.
Yeah, I think he's scooping for. Well, he doesn't have to scoop for time, but I think he knows which direction the wind's blowing are in this game. I think it's time to start over.
All right, so that is going to be, I believe, a concession from John Tatta, and Quinn is going to get the win in this first round with his Sabine ECL managing to be just a bit too fast there for Tata's Jango Tarkentown. The ECL K2SO taking out that Greedo. Greedo missing the top deck there to take out K2. Sabine was just able to push the damage too quickly, and even though, as you were saying, Endless, Tatta had maybe the better board, he had maybe just taken too much damage.
Exactly.
And people are now hyping up the Brain Invaders from the sideboard after what
Let's
we saw from
go.
Quinn in the earlier Swiss round.
Let's go side those brain invaders in, boy. Let's go.
Spag says pulling out Dodana's for Bright Hope, but leaving Saber. Interesting. Yeah, no, I do think you would probably rather have Bright Hope than Darksaber in this matchup, just because all the exhaust stuff can deal with the Darksaber comparatively easily.
Oh yeah.
And I think I would rather have Dodana than Darksaber, personally, but I could be wrong. Dodana
No,
is
I
good in a race, and this might end up being a race again.
exactly. Like I agree with you on this. Like Dodonna, he's another body. He requires more effort to exhaust than a dark saber stacked up on a single unit, and he buffs you everything else.
Bobby Sapphire also thinks Dodana is good this match. Now, I didn't see exactly what was going on with the sideboard, but if he did in fact pull Dodana but left in Saber, I think I would rather have had the Dodana than the Saber. But we'll have to see what he ended up doing. Darksaber is one of the biggest, if the opponent doesn't answer this, you probably just win cards. But this Jango deck has a lot of potential answers. Bobby Sapphire says All Stars and I have a video coming out Thursday that deep dives this exact matchup. Nice, yeah. I look forward to look forward to seeing that, Bobby Sapphire.
Me
That
too.
should be exciting. And Spag says Saber in hand. Elder Butterbeer says he has the flamethrower in the opener. Which flamethrower is this? Is this the flamethrower gauntlet thing
The
for
Van Brace flamethrower. Yeah.
yeah, is it the Vambrace flamethrower or is it the flamethrower trooper for Tata? I
Oh,
don't
I
think
don't
you would
know.
play the flamethrower trooper.
No, I don't think you play Incinerator here.
The Incinerator Trooper is like only really good if you have some kind of buff for him, in my opinion.
Right. You need some kind of like you need a pump. Whether that's like, a surprise strike or some other pump to get the first strike rolling.
We have 463 people watching this happen live
Dang.
in the chat. Thank you
Tell
all for tuning in to Maclunky Gaming.
tell your friends, let's get to 500.
Yeah,
Tell all your
I'd
SWU
be
friends
I'd be
to
hyped
tune
for
in.
that.
Yeah. He doesn't resource flamethrower. He has flamethrower in his hand. Love that card on
What
Jango.
now? What is the thinking on the flamethrower?
Well, you get
Is
to
it just like you're gonna just exhaust a bunch of units with it?
Yeah, it's a multi-exhaust. You could either multi-exhaust or you could deal all 3 damage to a single unit. It basically turns any unit into Boba Fett, into
Very
Boba
cool.
Fett legendary. Yeah, without the exhaust requirement. So it's like actually legit.
Okay, so then that's going to be okay. Yeah, Vanberry's flamethrower highlighted there. Thank you, Claire. It's a 3-cost upgrade, +1/+1, attached to a non-vehicle unit. Attached unit gains on attack. You may deal 3 damage divided as you choose among enemy ground units. Seems pretty relevant here. Now, normally Sabine Wren is a great answer to a crafty smuggler start, but in this case, we're going to see one of those P-38s hitting the field, being used here to ping and exhaust Sabine. And now the crafty smuggler is potentially poised to remove Sabine here without dying itself. Oh, and Quinn plays for a cause I believe in. That is not what you want to see as the Sabine player, I don't think. It is too early to be doing that. You want to be playing more units and building up your board this phase.
Yeah, but with Sabine tapped down, he can't Fleet Lieutenant.
I
So
mean,
he
he
has to
could play the Fleet
default.
Lieutenant just to develop a 3/3, but yeah, I think he may have been stuck with an unfortunate hand here. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, there's the Tarkin Town to clear out Sabine. Couch Judge Nick Nelson says he would run out the Fleet Lieutenant here.
yeah, just run out the fleet
I
without
do
the
think
pump.
I do think this is a weak start for Quinn, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come back from that. We'll have to see how it goes. Now we do see. I think that's a Fighters for Freedom in hand there.
Yeah,
Looks like there's a Fighters for Freedom, a Battlefield Marine, Darksaber still in there. I think he resourced the Marine.
Sabine ping.
Sabine ping, 1 to each base. There is a Cartel Spacer waiting in the hand to potentially exhaust Sabine. If Quinn is going for the Darksaber play, I don't think it's going to pay off for him. There's also a No Good to Me Dead in hand. This is basically why I think this Darksaber isn't a play that you want to be going for. As the Sabine player in this matchup, there's just way too many exhaust options. And the crazy thing is, Tatta doesn't even need any of these options. He can just send his crafty smuggler in to hit Quinn's Sabine and activate Jango's ability there to exhaust her.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to play the no good, but I think he's gonna do it. I think he's considering though. He's going back and forth a little bit about it.
Yeah, thinking about how to handle this.
Right, because if he plays the no good, he can just run the smuggler into base.
Tatta ends up taking a swing. I think he's hoping that his opponent does play Darksaber maybe. And Quinn
Yep,
does, and
there
there's
it
no
is.
good to me dead. That's probably game. I don't
Yeah,
think Quinn's coming back from this. That is a hugely negative development for him, but we'll have to see. It's not over yet. Couch Judge Nick Nelson says baited. Yeah, I do think Quinn ended up walking right into that exhaust. Tough situation. He
yeah. I mean,
didn't know his opponent had that no good to me dead, but he would have been a lot better off if he would have been a lot better off with the Fleet Lieutenant there, I think, just running in there for some bonus damage and developing another unit. It might have been that he was just saying, "Hey, if he has it, he has it. I gotta take this risk since I'm losing." That's what Rick Raikina in chat suggests. Yeah, he needed to try because he was so behind. Could be.
hmm
And
yeah, he
wait, wait,
needed
don't tell me
something big.
says, yeah, I don't know. I think you have to make Tata have it when you spent turn 2 doing nothing already.
Plays the Fighters for Freedom now.
Fighters for Freedom. Okay, that's a pretty decent unit. I used to hate that card, but I've become more positive on it with time.
Yeah, I think it's actually quite good in the right circumstances. P-38 into base for 3.
What are we doing here? 2 damage to base. Tatta this time is the one ahead in the race. Looks like there's 10 HP left on Quinn's base. Jango still has yet to flip. There's 5 damage on the board just from Jango and that Cartel Spacer into the base. Now there's a triple Dark Raid. If that hits a Raider or a Fett's Fire Spray, Tatta has the win this turn, I think. There it is, Fett's Fire Spray. And it looks to me as if Tatta has the 10 damage that he needs for lethal. And yep, looks like he just brings Jango over, shows that he has the lethal, and I think that's going to be game. We are going to move on to round number 3. Now, Quinn is going to get to go first here, I think, and that will hopefully be advantageous to his ability to not just get exhausted. Initiative is very important in this matchup, in my opinion.
100%. I mean, and you get to side again now, right?
Yeah, in principle, yes.
Okay.
I think a lot of the time people don't bother to change their sideboarding decisions between games 2 and 3, but it is something that you are allowed to do.
Yeah, I
One
mean,
of the
if something's not working, you might as well side it out, right? Like,
yeah, I think there's I think there are some of these situations where someone has the sideboard plan pretty locked on, and some of them where they might not entirely understand what the opponent's deck is trying to do and so on, and might adapt kind of midway through. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. I got you.
It is also possible that one or both of these players are playing cards that are specifically only good when going first or second. There are some cards like that in this game. I wonder if Quinn actually made Tatta go first game 1. I thought he had won that role. It is conceivable he's like, no, you go first so that your ISB agent is derpy or whatever. But I think probably you want to go first, and if he has it, he has it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you on that. This first draw doesn't look particularly enticing. He does have Rebel Assaults, Red 3. A few other things I can't really tell. Fighters
Does
for
he have a
Freedom.
good starting unit? I mean, one of the big questions is, do you have a 2-drop? If you don't
Right.
have a 2-drop with Sabine, I think you essentially always mulligan.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think you ever skip turn 1. Maybe I'm not seeing
Skipping
it.
turn 1 with Sabine is very bad, so that's not where you want to be.
No, certainly not.
All right, let's see what
Oh, there
he
is a
looks
Sabine.
like.
Okay, never mind.
Sabine ran Explosives Artist. Good start. Good
Yeah,
opener.
there you go.
But there is an ISB agent to ping her. And so she's going to be off the field quickly. Not what you want to see
Ooh,
as Quinn.
showing Breaking In,
Yeah,
which is
breaking in an interesting card.
that +2 in the Saboteur for any unit.
Not the best in this matchup, but it still is an attack buff.
Well, it
Um,
is an attack buff, but it gets past Bright Hope specifically.
yeah, that's fair.
That's the biggest
And I
use of
do
it.
think that it's going to be better than something like the Hotshot Deal 44.
Yeah.
Because the Hotshot Deal 44 can't be played on space units, and the Jango Red Tarkentown deck is mostly space oriented here.
Yeah, it's like like for space, it's kind of like Swoop Down. Because I remember in the old space archetype, like Swoop Down was a big thing. But in this case, it's just more straight to your face. Like, we're just going to Saboteur for the pump. So
Quinn is going to bring out the Fighters for Freedom this game. That's a lot better than the 4 Cause I Believe In he played on his second turn in the previous game. And Tatta is going to take out a 7th Fleet Defender. If I'm Quinn, I think I just claim initiative here.
yeah, I'll grab initiative so I don't get my fighters exhausted.
Initiative taken. ISB agent probably just to base, just, do some damage. That's one of those little attacks where, like, if Quinn had not taken initiative, I think Tatta would be very happy to take initiative rather than make that attack. But given that you've already lost the initiative, you may as well do the 1 damage,
Yeah. It's just free damage at that point. No reason not to do it.
Couch Judge Nick Nelson says Brain Invaders in hand. 3 damage to the base from that copy of Fighters for Freedom. 3 damage to base from the defender. It does look like we're racing here. And the
Brain
Brain
Invaders.
Invaders are on the field.
Yes.
Tatta has to pick up the card to see what it does.
He's like, what is this card?
Yeah, he's like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
is that? But hey, in this situation, The Brain Invaders might be the cover that Quinn needs to avoid getting his Sabine immediately exhausted. Claire bringing up Brain Invaders, 4-cost ground unit, neutral, 2/4 with the Fringe trait. Each leader loses all abilities except for epic actions and can't gain abilities. Now, the problem with this is it does now mean that Sabine's ping is off and that also Sabine will hit for less damage. It is a double-sided effect. But, you know, swinging in with Sabine for only 2 is, I guess, better than deploying and getting exhausted, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Deploy, get exhausted? No, thank you.
And yeah, we have broken 500 viewers on this stream. As Spags said, Brain Invaders pushed stream over 500. Now, we are
100%.
going to see, I think that's a breaking in played. Oh, how sad for Quinn. Breaking in played for the bonus damage from that ISB agent. Quinn deploys Sabine, now covered by Brain Invaders to protect against Jango, only for Tatta to have a cartel spacer to exhaust Sabine anyway. Ouch. I am not confident in this Brain Invaders plan, but we'll see if Quinn can make it happen. It looks
Hey,
like in terms of damage on the board, Quinn has taken 7 damage to base, while Tatta has only taken 3. However, Quinn still has his ECL still in position. There is 7 damage on the board for Quinn, and there is 6 damage on the board for Tatta, but Tatta can also deploy Jango this round.
Red
Red
3 coming
3
out.
hits the field. That's going to be some bonus damage if not dealt with here.
Needs to do a
Jango's
damage.
effect
Tatta
is
needs to do a damage to his
disable.
base. Because he played a red card.
Yeah, it's
Did
true,
Tatta?
but that is a conceivably a missed trigger there. I don't know. Does it say May? How does that ability even work?
Oh, it's a May.
I don't
Did
know
he
if
not
it's a May.
remember? 3 to base.
I think it is. Yeah, it's you may deal 1 damage to a base. So yeah, he just missed his trigger. Unfortunate. That could have been 1 damage for Quinn from that Fighters for Freedom, but he missed his trigger there. So lost out on some damage he otherwise could have inflicted. 3 damage to Tata's base from Sabine. She didn't get the 1 damage because Brain Invaders suppresses her on attack ability, but she does get a bonus 1 damage from Red 3 here. Tatta not deciding to go for the Red 3 and instead just pushing damage, thinking he can win this race. Swinging in with the Cartel Spacer now as well. 12 damage on Quinn's base. I believe Quinn now points out the Fighters for Freedom, maybe realizing that he misses it. I don't think they're adding the damage, though. I think it's just, hey, he missed it. Fighters for Freedom now swinging in for 4 damage, 10 on Tata's base, 12 on Quinn's base. This is definitely turning into a race here, but I think it's a race where Tatta is ahead. Brain Invaders can also swing into the base here, I guess.
Yeah, looks like that's what they're gonna
I
do.
do think I see a For a Cause I Believe in hand. So
Honest, Brain Invader's not a
Brain
heroism
Invaders
unit.
is not buffed by Red 3. It's just 2 damage there since it's not a heroism unit. 12 damage on each base now. Is this going to be a triple dark raid? Yes, it is. Triple dark raid for Tatta. I think Tata's in a pretty commanding position here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Tatta really is ahead
There's a
at this
Fitz fire
point.
spray.
Yeah, he puts the fire
Yeah, so
spray
he's
down.
got 9 damage here. Opponent on 21, and then so the fire spray ends up getting bounced. But if he has a single attack buff, he wins in 1 action. And Quinn is not close to winning in 1 action. I think this is going to be a win for Tatta. The Does Quinn have anything relevant to do with those remaining 2 resources? I kind of doubt it, honestly. Playing almost any unit doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, with the fire spray out.
I guess if he had some kind of buff. Hmm. What is his hand? Is that K2, Heroic Sacrifice, and what was the third one?
I think it was for a cause.
For a cause. Those are good cards, but I don't think they're going to be good enough in this scenario. Now he could do, so let's see, how much damage can he do? He could do a like for a cause, or he could do heroic sacrifice, sacrificing Sabine. That would do 5 damage to the opponent's base from the attack, +1 for playing a red card. So that would be 6 damage to the base. That would take Tatta to 18. And then he would have to do 7 in one action, and I don't think he can. I think that's going to be game over. Wait. He might just be able to pull it off if he draws Wrecker. But I don't think he has it.
No, he doesn't draw a Wrecker.
Yeah, so I think if he had Wrecker, I think if he had Wrecker, he would be able to win in 2 actions, and maybe Tatta can win in 2 actions, but with Quinn on the initiative, he would be able to perhaps get it. But without drawing that Wrecker, I don't think he can do so. Because the line that I'm thinking of there is heroic sacrifice Sabine into the base. So that would be, oh no, wait, he can still do it in, oh no, he wouldn't have the resource. He wouldn't have the resource. Because Wrecker costs 6. So he would not actually be able to do it, even if he top decks Wrecker. I guess is there anything else that would do enough damage? Okay, so if he goes in for 6, it would be 8. Oh man, you know what? There's a potential out. Here's how it works. If he does heroic
Okay.
sacrifice on Sabine, he gets 6 total damage to base, right?
Right.
So then the base is on 18. And then if he does a second heroic sacrifice on the oh, okay, well he doesn't do it. He doesn't see it. It's going to be a win for Tatta. But
Yeah,
he
Tatta.
could have in principle done noble sacrifice on Sabine, 6 damage to base. If Tatta doesn't win in one action and Quinn top decks another heroic sacrifice, he could then heroic sacrifice the Fighters for Freedom as well, and I believe that would be lethal.
Well, I gotta say that Brain Invaders had quite a run.
Yeah, first one would be 6,
Tatta
second one would
though.
be 7. So that could have won the game, but he didn't see it and would have had to hit a certain top deck anyway. It is going to be a win for Tatta. Tatta taking the match. Quinn not getting use out of his ECL in that game, and I think that was a critically negative factor for him.
Yeah, Tatta coming back to steal the win in this set.
Thanks for watching and supporting Maclunky Gaming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.